Welcome to A Woman's World. I am Oinlola Sally. Today we see how some women in Kenya are braving tough economic conditions to provide for their families. Their methods might not be glamorous, but it pays the bills. On Life on Top, you'll meet a Senegalese woman making her mark in the business world. We will also keep you abreast with the latest headlines in the world of women. On Trends, we take a look at the culture of buying and wearing used clothes in Africa. But for now, we go straight to our issue for the day.
Basket making, not glamorous, but it pays the bills. These women have put their efforts and skills together and have sustained their families with returns from the business. Agnes Yokanguli, a mother of two, tells her story with joy. Her role in the community is felt widely.
I had nowhere to get money from, but these days I'm doing fine. If I need money for our group contribution, I pay it by myself. If it's money for household needs, I do buy and no longer depend on my husband.
2 years ago, a Catholic nun who is now deceased took 4 women from this area for training workshop on self-employment. Basket decoration is what they were taught. Agnes was just a housewife when she decided to spread her wings.
But when I once visited Nairobi and saw where they are made, I was attracted and started to know how to make them. And later, I started selling the material to fellow women.
There's no time to lose as demand grows every day. She keeps working to make more for her family.
It has profits and she uses her time and income well. And what she gets, we use it to buy food, paying school fees and some other incomes in the house.
A group of more than 30 women meet at her house every Wednesday to learn the skills for free. This has been their source of livelihood since they started. Agnes has been teaching them and providing sewing materials, which she buys from the capital city, Nairobi. Lucy Mwangi, the chairlady of the group, speaks about the benefits since she joined.
Ukikaa nyumbani kama mwanamke na saa yote ni unaambia bwana tunaenda.
If you stay at home as a woman and every time you ask your husband for money to go and pay in a merry-go-round, you become a beggar, even for bus fare. In fact, what I do today, I just tell my husband I'm going somewhere, but I don't need his money.
Kama wakati huu hata simulizi.
She has been identified in the village as a trainer without boundaries. Her early days were challenging.
One day, I had made up to 5 baskets and had not sold them. It happened that we did not have any money in the house, so as I was walking into town carrying one, I came across women who wanted to know where I had bought it. I said I could give them if they needed. I rushed home, picked the baskets and sold to the women and got enough money.
Last year, she made more than $1,190, although it wasn't easy. There are no outlets to sell their baskets. All they do is carry them wherever they go for admirers to buy. She is not alone. Miles away along the streets of Djibouti City, the story is the same. These women have been here every day earning their daily bread. The 10 women have been sharing different skills to sustain their art. For Roun Amare, life would not be the same without this work. Working in a peaceful environment makes Amare happy and encourages more weaving.
This is the main income for my family, but in case God gives us another source, I will still feed my family.
Their wares are well arranged to capture the passerby's attention. The price ranges from 3 to 55 US dollars per basket, depending on the size.
I have been here doing this work for 30 years. These things are from our culture and it is the main income of my family. It has helped me to bring up my children till now they are old. The problems are very private and specific. Like now from my family, the main problem is the lack of financial resources. We have no problem from our government.
Women from societies as different as Kenya and Djibouti still pursue similar designs, taking care of their families and making fine crafts.
Remember that you can drop your comments and suggestions via Twitter or Facebook using the addresses showing below. We want to hear from you. Still to come, Life on Top, where we meet a woman who believes in Africa and everything African. And on trends, used clothes, new clothes, we find out what women and even men have to say about this. First, let's see what events made the headlines this week.
The United Nations has named former South African Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka to head the UN Women after former Chilean President Michelle Bachelet stepped down to pursue another presidential bid. Mlambo-Ngcuka was Deputy President of South Africa under Thabo Mbeki between 2005 and 2008. UN spokesman Martin Neseki comments on this appointment.
Mlambo-Ngcuka brings a wealth of experience in advocating for women's issues and was the first woman to hold the position of Deputy President of South Africa.
Bachelet stepped down in March this year from UN Women, a body for gender equality and the empowerment of women created in 2010. Ireland's parliament has voted to allow abortion under certain conditions for the first time following months of polarizing debate in the Catholic country, including letters to the Premier written in blood. Prime Minister Enda Kenny has provoked protests from both sides of the debate by pushing through a compromise that will allow abortion, but only when a woman's life is in danger. His governing party has faced down more rebels over the issue than it did over its harsh austerity measures. After a marathon debate that ran past midnight for the second night in a row, lawmakers passed the bill by 127 to 31. The vote was greeted with applause. The two-decade debate over how Ireland should deal with a Supreme Court ruling that abortion be permitted when a woman's life is in danger was reopened last year after the death of a woman who was denied abortion with a dying fetus. Meanwhile, the family of Savita Halapanava, the Indian woman who died due to pregnancy complications as a result of Ireland's strict abortion laws, has welcomed new legislation passed by the Irish Parliament to allow the procedure under certain conditions for the first time. In a press conference, Savita's father expressed pleasure at the decision.
I really welcome that move, and it was our demand, at least for life-saving purpose. Life-saving abortion bill is very essential.
Reverend Father Dominic Emmanuel, a priest at a prominent Catholic church in New Delhi, where Savita is from, said he did not see anything new with the controversial legislation.
When the life of the mother is in danger due to pregnancy, then you can follow a medical procedure in which procedure the child may be aborted or may be miscarried, but the focus is on not aborting the child but saving both the mother and the child. But in case the child cannot be saved, then the procedure should focus on saving the mother. And I think that is what right now what I have read is the provision in the new bill. So I am not very clear as to what is new about it, because even in the former guidelines of the Irish Medical Association, there was such a provision.
Ireland was forced to review its abortion law in cases where the mother's life is at risk following the death of Halapanava at a hospital in Galway last October after she was denied an abortion. An inquiry into her death earlier this year revealed that a timely abortion may have saved her life. In India, a group of around 15 drunk and armed men forcibly barged into a local hostel and raped 4 girls.
Last night at about 11 p.m., around 15 unknown men came here and forcefully took 4 girls from the mission school and gang raped them.
The incident took place at a missionary institution, and according to officials, the girls, who were aged between 12 and 14 years, were students of a vocational course. Local residents said that the men took away their mobile phones and then locked them in their homes before taking the 4 girls to a nearby field and gang raping them. Police have identified the men as residents of the nearby Jamjoda village and added that 3 of them fled the village when the police reached the village.
Once we started the investigation, we got to know that the accused were from the nearby Jamjoda village.
Sex crimes are common in India. The National Crimes Record Bureau says more than 24,200 rapes were reported across the country in 2011. That's about 1 rape every 20 minutes. Demonstrators dressed up as embryos gathered outside the French Parliament in Paris to protest a draft law aimed at authorizing scientific research on human embryonic stem cells. French members of Parliament recently resumed discussions on a bill that proposes to authorize, under certain conditions, scientific research on embryos and embryonic stem cells despite strong oppositions. A law dating back to 2011 bans conducting research on embryos, but with some exemptions. Activist Jean-Marie Lemene believed the research was unjustified and would only profit pharmaceutical companies.
La détresse de la femme, là l'utilisation de l'embryon par les laboratoires pharmaceutiques, elle est où la détresse? Derrière, on fait le business.
It is a lucrative business, a case of money, only profitable to the pharmaceutical industry, which, like armed dealers, have a 2-figure growth. And I'm very surprised that the leftish government accepts encouraging this kind of savage capitalism, which through its libertarian and materialistic vision despises the human being.
MPs will vote on the bill soon.